Competitive Pokemon VGC has begun its Series 2 rule set. This has introduced the Paradox Pokemon into the metagame. This past weekend, we had our first major tournament with the new format in Orlando, Florida. And it was won by content creator, world champion, Wolfie Glick. I am not going to go over his team. He has done a video of himself going over the finals match already, and we'll be doing a breakdown of his team and tournament run. So I will let him do that because Parish Trap is a very complicated technical team that I do not have his skill at piloting. What I want to do is go over all of the other teams in the tournament and just see if any trends or themes emerge, see if there's any sets that I'm like, ooh, I might want to run that, and then get on to team building. So I've got a number of resources here from VGC Pastes and from Victory Road VGC to go over. The first thing that I noticed when going over the results is the prevalence of Gothitelle as well as Talonflame. Talonflame makes sense. It's a priority Tailwind user with the Gale Wings ability, allowing you to set up speed control for yourself nice and easily. And it has more utility than Murkrow, getting access to Will-O-Wisp, to Taunt, having item options. You could use the Focus Sash, you could use the Covert Cloak. Which you might not be able to if you were using Murkrow, where it's kind of locked into Eviolite. But then the other one that surprised me a lot more was Gothitelle, being able to prevent switch-ins. Apparently a lot of players thought it would be valuable, and it was valuable to have Gothitelle on the team, even not as a Parish Trap mode. Obviously, the winning team had it for trapping in with Parish Song, but all of these teams had it as countering half of the Dondozo Tatsugiri, and just preventing some other switch-in, switch-out shenanigans to stop your opponent's pivoting options. So I found that very interesting how common this Pokemon was. It was one of the most common Pokemon in the top cut. Yeah, it was number 4. It was number 4 in usage in the top cut, in the top 32, after the 3 most popular Paradox Pokemon. With a 34% usage, which is very high, and that was very surprising. Talonflame down to only 25% after that. Where was Talonflame in the full event? It must have passed it. Talonflame was 15%, so Talonflame had an increase in prevalence, and Gothitelle had a major increase in prevalence, so Gothitelle and Talonflame both performed better getting you into top cut than not. That's very interesting. And some of them aren't running Parish, some of them aren't running Trick Room, some of them aren't running Fake Out. There's variety. So I just want to go through some team lists. Let's go to the VGC Pastes repository. All of these links to VGC Guide, to the VGC Pastes, are going to be in the description below of the video, so please check there. Let's see, did any of these players tweet out their teams so I can see maybe a little more detail? Some of them will have pastes, I'm hoping. No paste for you, or I mean spreads. It doesn't look like we're going to get spreads out of this data yet. So let's go back to VGC Guide. So let's look at the finals runner-up. We had pretty standard Iron Hands, although it was mentioned that his was Jolly Max Speed, which is a surprise to that set. He has Pollen Puff Protect on his Amoonguss. No Rage Powder, no Grass Move, and no Sucker Punch is notable. Specskull Dango, I note that he has Steel Beam. Mega Rain Shadow Ball, obviously. Thunderbolt and Power Gem are 2 common moves you see on the Specskull Dango. Steel Beam, sometimes you might see Trick in this slot. to get rid of your choice specs, so you can switch your moves around and to neutralize like an enemy Amoonguss or something. He was using the Chestoberry Rest version of Dondozo, which is sometimes like all of the Dondozo sets are scary. The Substitute, the Rest, and the 3 attacks with Protect are all scary in different ways. In an open team sheet environment, thankfully you get the chance to see what they're doing better. So you can prepare for it, because on the ladder, that's much harder. Acrobatics, Throat Chop, Tailwind, Protect on the Booster Energy Roaring Moon. I saw one player in their interview talk about how Throat Chop was useless for them and they wished it had been Breaking Swipe, which sounds really interesting to me. I love Breaking Swipe, Snarl. I love being able to neutralize enemy Pokemon, so that sounds nice to me. Obviously, Throat Chop can neutralize Perish Song, which may go up in value if Perish Trap becomes an established part of the meta as opposed to a one-time metagame call. We will see. Pollen Puff on Brute Bonnet. I had not thought of that option before, and that's interesting. Let's take a look at another team, see if any sets stand out to us. Pretty standard Iron Bundle, pretty standard Sylveon. Substitute on the Great Tusk, that's some little tech. Pick out Psychic Taunt and Trick Room on this Gothitelle. Lumberry, Multiscale Dragonite. Dragon Dance, no Protect. No Protect on the Gothitelle either. And AV Tyranitar with Heavy Slam. Ooh. I suppose that probably kills Fluttermane, I would assume. Interesting. Let's move on to Chupa's team. So he was the substitute Order Up Wave Crash Dondozo. Talonflame, pretty standard. Citrus Berry, Seed Bomb, Brute Bonnet. He named it Imposter because Amogus, Among Us. I like that. Seed Bomb, Crunch, Rage Powder, Spore. So yeah, this one has the Power Gem over the Steel Beam. Pomot, which we all know I love from my tournament win. I chose Nuzzle over Double Shock in that, but that was Series 1, where this was a much faster Pokemon in the metagame. Here's the first King Gambit, which I'm very interested in. King Gambit just feels like it's a good Pokemon to me in this format. 3 weaknesses, lots and lots of resistances, excellent typing, excellent offensive typing. How much does King Gambit's Iron Head do to Fluttermane? Let's check that. Fluttermane, King Gambit, Iron Head should be a one-hit KO onto a Fluttermane. Obviously, if they have Focus Sash, it'll proc that. I mean, even Kowtow Cleave will, and that's neutral. So that means if they Terra, it'll still, if they Terra like, I don't know, if they Terra Dark, Iron Head almost still kills. It becomes a roll. Amazing. And we saw the Assurance. Now, I forget which move Assurance is. That's if they've taken damage, it does more damage. Assurance. Power doubles if the target has already taken some damage. Yes. So that's interesting over the Kowtow Cleave for like with an Icy Wind double up or a Priority Brave Bird or Dazzling Gleam. And he also had the Glimora, which I really like. I saw someone had a Focus Sash Glimora, and that made me go, ooh. Because I really like Glimora. It did some good work for me on one rental team I was using it with. And so I do want to, that was in Series 1, I do want to explore it in Series 2. The one that I was using was Assault Vest with the Terra Grass, and but seeing Focus Sash on it having a better chance to get up the toxic debris in a matchup where that's useful sounded real interesting to me. Let's look at Toller's team. Sharp Beak on the Talonflame. I wonder what this is calculated for. Probably Among Us, or could be for Iron Hands. Well, Iron Hands is electric. It'll resist. It'll be neutral. Booster energy on the Flutter main. No tech move, just having the spread as the tech with Dazzling Gleam. Terra Ice on the Iron Bundle, so you're not weak to Freeze Dry. Assault Vest with Low Kick. I wonder why they have Psybeam on this Gothitelle over Psychic. The confusion chance being valuable for them somehow, or they want to not pick up a KO for some sort of calculated portion of some strategy? Interesting. Or they just know they're rarely going to use it. Tailwind, Brave Bird, Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, pretty standard Talonflame. Close Combat, Headlong Rush, Earthquake, Protect. I don't think I like... Well, spread damage is nice, so maybe Earthquake is still really good. It just always feels weird to me having the 2 ground moves in this case, since Earthquake you are required to protect or have your Terra Tyranitar out or your Talonflame out. I did watch all of the matches. Choice Band Meowscarada, Safety Goggles Sylveon with Psych Up. Ooh, wait a minute. You made it into top 8 with Psych Up Dondozo's Tatsugiri shenanigans. That's interesting. Oh, I guess you don't have it set up to psych up your own stats, so you're using that to copy your opponent's stats, I imagine. Huh. That's interesting. Indeedee Armarouge is a combination that I have never played with myself. I need to learn how to do those shenanigans. Here we have the Speed Tatsugiri, Order Up Dondozo. 3 attack. Ooh, 3 attack. Rest with Lumberry, so you could get your rest 2-turn sleep off of that. And here's a Mousehold with... Oh, Mousehold gets U-turn. I did not know that. Interesting. Trick Room Protect. Trick Room Helping Hand. No Protect on the Indeedee. And he had a Belly Drum Iron Hands with Citrus Berry. Interesting. That was that one. Let's now look at this one with the Attack Tatsugiri, the Focus Sash Tatsugiri. If you can spare the Focus Sash on it, I think I like this Tatsugiri better. It's scarier to fight against, I think, but... and then the Bullet Seed Loaded Dice combination on Brute Bonnet. So this is guaranteed minimum a base 100 power move for it, sometimes 125. That's very, very strong. Standard Assault Vest set, Safety Goggles, Terra Dark Armarouge, Walls Enemy Indeedee Armarouge. And interesting that we saw a lot more extreme speed on the ladder. The standard Arcanine set has been Flare Blitz, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp, Protect. But this person dropped Protect for extreme speed. Wolfie dropped Snarl for extreme speed. So interesting seeing that be the more valuable choice. This one does have a Parasong mode, but it did not go all in on it, like Wolfie did. Having the Iron Hands Although the Gothitelle is about the same. This is actually quite similar. I wanted to look at VGC Pace posted some notes of from a Japanese player, Ferdmat. From Ferdmat translated them from Cobalt Poke 1234. So some things they noted. Iron Moth Fluttermane has good offensive pairing. Indeed, Armor Rouge with Iron Bundle, 2 proc weakness policy. Household Annihilate or Grinsnarl. Tatsugiri. Talonflame plus Great Tusk. Yes, that was very strong. Setting up Tailwind. Strike Hard. Arcanine plus Amoonguss with Paradox Pokemon. This archetype is built around Pokemon with high BST, commonly known as good stuffs. But lacks an obvious combination. It just has solid sustain and power. Vital Spirit Annihilate as a potential counter. All right. That was interesting. And so what did VGC Pace say in there? So here was the bracket showing everyone's journeys. Spreadsheet we were looking at. Victory Road webpage we were looking at. And another version of usage stats. Grass, water, and fire are the most common, then steel, fairy, then flying ghost. For common terra types, then dark, then they all drop off. Fascinating. Let's go look at more team lists. Jonathan Mendez. Here we have the one Stonejourner. Wide Guard Protect. Taunt, Dazzling Gleam, Life Orb, Spore, Seed Bomb, Crunch, Protect. A lot of them are opting for Crunch over Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch was really good for me when I was using Brute Bonnet before the ladder dropped. Okay. Oops, that's the, wait, no. That's the one. I want this one. So offensive Volcarona, Heatwave Bug Buzz, no Will-O-Wisp, no what's the bug? Struggle Bug. Again, the 3 attack Great Tusk. So that Great Tusk has Focus Sash. Super Fang, Baby Doll Eyes, Mousehold, Salt Vest, Dragonite, Covert Cloak, Goldango. Interesting. I like this team. This looks like my kind of team to execute and play with. I'm going to bookmark that one for myself. And this is the first one that I've come to that made me personally of my play style go, ooh, I like that. That was Kyle Livinghouse. Let's open a couple more of these. These all look pretty standard. Just good combination of good Pokemon. A Sableye is something I briefly explored. Encore disable reflect light screen. Okay. And the dual screens gives you some option against dark types. My Sableye was struggling because Prankster into dark types. Covert Cloak on there, Amoonguss. No Protect. Big Smog over Protect. Safety Goggles on their Iron Hands. Interesting. It's the Swords Dance Ferret. Ooh. Safety Goggles is interesting there, because then Terrifier Safety Goggles, you're immune to both Will-O-Wisp and Spore. And the offensive Volcarona again. Choice Band Dragonite. Neato. Let's see. Anything interesting that we haven't seen? Let's see. So that was down to here. Here's Brendan Zhang's team, which had something on it that I was interested in. It had the fake tears on their Gothitelle, which I really like. They were on the Bullet Seed plan, the No Protect Terra Normal Arcanine. They had the Gastrodon Covert Cloak. They went with Protect and Recover, Earth Power Muddy Water. Okay. I always want to fit Yawn on that Gastrodon, and I'm greedy to drop Protect for it. But I do quite like that. This team has another. I like this Gothitelle Sylveon combination. I like this Brute Bonnet set. I like this Gastrodon set. Ooh, Armor no Indeedee. Ooh. Protect, Psychic, Armor Cannon, Trick Room. 2 Trick Room modes. Alright, let's look at some more teams. For 20. Beat Up, Annihilate. Alright, so here's that Struggle Bug, Overheat, Rage Powder, Tailwind support Volcarona. Everything else looks pretty standard. The Sleep Talk tech on the Tatsugiri we've seen before. Tyranitar. Looking for interesting new sets. Choice Specs Fluttermane. Another Swords Dance, this one with Clear Amulet. The one thing I've noted in this format is that speed, you can't rely on yourself outspeeding because of the booster energy Paradox Pokemon. There will always be something that will outspeed you. The only case where it's not is if you are Tailwind Booster Energy Fluttermane. That's the only thing that you can feel confident nothing will outspeed you. All right, so this is good seeing just like lots of what is now obviously standard sets on things. Ooh, here's a Garchomp, Driftblim. Ooh, and they had the T-Tar Lycanroc combo. Ooh. So this is again very similar to Wolf Team, but with the Iron Hand. This is the same thing. It's the same 5, but with Iron Hands instead of Fluttermane. So other people had come on to the similar idea, but he found that innovation, which no one else seemed to have. Although I think he worked with Marcus on it, so Marcus just made that choice. All right, let's go down to the top 32. Open all these, see if anything sticks out to me. Another King Gambit. Elvis, another Choice Band, another Focus Sash, Great Tusk. Here's our first Murkrow of the day. Ooh, morning sun, sunny day. Ooh, that's interesting. Given how fast Arcanine is, ooh, I kind of like that. And with Tailwind support on this type of team, what is drum beating? I'm not familiar with that move. Drum beating. Okay, that must be a team sheet error because I was like, that sounds like Rillaboom's move, but it must not be. So that must be a team sheet mistake of some kind. That was this team. Probably supposed to be Shadow Ball, I'd imagine. Weird. This Arcanine set, Arcanine Murkrow set, I'm very interested in. Write that down. All right, Indeedee Armarouge. Friend Guard, but Wide Lens Population Bomb on this Mousehold. Stomping Tantrum and Belly Drum on this Iron Hands. Wide Lens on the Talonflame to just make sure your Will-O-Wisps and your Overheats hit. Ooh, a Meowscarada. Series 1 style. Another Struggle Bug Volcarona. Ozokiri. Taunt on this Fluttermane. Terra Blast, Terra Fairy on this King Gambit. Because then he started blasting. Specs, Goldango. The Goldango is going to rise in importance, I feel. Because it walls Perish Song itself. Like, what I'm thinking is a Goldango with a fire resist Terra type. Like a more bulky, defensive, probably nasty plot Goldango set is what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm taking it one step further and pondering maybe even going Hex Thunderwave. But, because I'm silly. Here's that Espartha set. Pounce, okay. Hypnosis, I assume we're going to see Gravity, yep. I see Hypnosis, Espartha, and I'm like, where's the Gravity Sandy Shocks? There it is. Very last move, very last Pokemon. AV Iron Hands, Life Orb Fluttermane, okay. With Substitute. Ooh, Life Orb and Substitute. Ooh. That's interesting. That opens up options. Forget, is Aguav Berry the anti-water? Aguav Berry. Yeah. Oh no, it's just a Pinch Berry. Yeah, I'd seen Substitute Fluttermane on someone else's set, but Substitute Life Orb Fluttermane, very interesting to me. And again, Dazzling Gleam over Moonblast, interesting. Running both makes sense to me, but I just feel like Moonblast is so much better. Another Helping Hand on that Gothitelle, no Protect on that Gothitelle. That one must be for Dondozo, not for Perish. I don't think I've seen any Iron Hands that did not have any Iron Bundles, that did not have these 4 moves. Hydro Pump, Freeze Dry, Icy Wind, Protect. I believe they have all had that. There's been some variation in the item and the Terra type. I didn't notice any without that. Dragonackle Jawlock. In a Perish Song world, is Jawlock more useful? I'm guessing this one's booster energy attack because it does not have a tailwind. Palafin with haze, only water moves. Ooh, Pelipper, fun. Light Clay Grimmsnarl with Thunderwave. Lefty's Goldango. Swords Dance Iron Hands. Okay. And Pinchberry on this one. Very interesting. So some things that really stood out to me, pull them back up, were definitely the substitute Life Orb Fluttermane. I like this whole team as it sits together. I also like this whole team as it sits together. And what was it on this one? And then the Morning Sun on the Arcanine. All right, so we've kind of narrowed down to some standardized sets for a lot of Pokemon. You know, where you have the, like, you know, the Iron Hands, Arcanine, Fluttermane, Iron Bundle, Amoonguss. There's a little variation. The Gothitels have some variety to them, but that was just discovered as useful by a lot of players. This one's Leftovers. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I think that was fascinating. I really enjoyed the matches. I'm excited to get into the team. I didn't come away from this with a clear, aha, this is what I want to build. Now I need to just dive deeper into the specifics of, okay, which Pokemon do I personally like and like their playstyle to figure out what'll work for me. I'm interested in Tailwind or Roaring Moon, but also Talonflame. I definitely like Kingambit a lot. Amoonguss is amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you watching the video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I am on all social media. Check me out on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Discord, YouTube, all at Dasbif. I would appreciate it very much. I'm trying to unlock fan funding on YouTube, so I need as much subscribers as I can there. So if you're able to help out, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.